Are you not happy with your violin tone? Do you have a lot of screechy scrunchies and you just want to sound better? In this video, discover 4 pillars to gorgeous tone. Hi, I'm violinist Heather Kay. I work with dedicated adult violinists who desire impeccable technique and to play with gorgeous tone. The first pillar to gorgeous tone is truly your foundational setup. If your violin is drooping while you're playing or you're not feeling comfortable holding the violin, that's going to affect your tone. The violin itself has energy, and when it's drooping or facing downward in this direction, it loses energy down. So when you play, you want to have this beautiful violin hold, and you can check out my video on how to have a great violin hold. And from there, to make sure that the scroll is not drooping down. So that's the first thing to check out in your postural foundation, is that you are truly holding the violin comfortably, as if you are the tree, like these trees behind me, and the violin just comes to you, sits right in there. There's no clamping down, there's no shoulder raising up or jaw coming down. It's just like a puzzle piece that gets fit right exactly where it needs to be. So in that case, you may have to adjust your shoulder rest, your chin rest, but I go more into depth than that in the violin hold video, and you can check that out in that video. And with postural foundation, it's not just the violin hold, it's here with the jaw on the shoulder, it's also here with the left hand. How are you holding the violin here? This is so important. If this is not correct, you're not going to be able to do many of the things that the left hand needs to do. And then also with the right hand, so the postural foundation with how you hold the bow and how you hold your bow arm and how your bow arm operates. So that's the first pillar to gorgeous tone, is really investigating those postural foundations. The second pillar to gorgeous tone is making sure that you are relaxed. So as you are exploring your posture in those 3 areas, violin hold here with jaw and shoulder, left hand and right hand, plus the arms, to make sure that you don't have tension. If you have tension, it's the exact same thing as if somebody was singing, ah, and then somebody was strangling them. It doesn't work. You lose that tone. It's the same thing with the violin. If you're strangling the violin here with your hold, with your jaw and your shoulder, that's going to affect the tension. It's going to compress this here, and it's not, the violin is not going to be able to sing. If you're having tension here in the left hand and really have the death grip of the violin hold, again, the violin is being strangled and not allowed to sing. Same with the bow. If we have the death grip here, or the claw in the bow hold, you don't have the flexibility to have that professional sound that you're looking for. So as you're exploring your playing relaxed or without tension, this is not an immediate process that's going to go away. You can check out my How to Play Without Tension in Your Left Hand video to help you out and give you a place to start. But this is something that you truly need to explore every single day as you're playing. It's good to set up a 0 or a constant so you know, okay, when that tension creeps in. And a great way to do that is with what I call an attunement exercise, just being aware of your body. I go more into depth in this exact exercise, and I have it written out for you in my 4 pillars to gorgeous tone, which you can download immediately just by following the link above in the corner of this video to get your copy and follow along. So the attunement exercise, this is great to do every day before even playing, without the violin, without the bow, just to stand and breathe and feel centered. Just feel completely aligned here. Because when we play, that's what we need. That's where we need to be returning to. We don't want to be shifting to the left or, having this tension here, the shoulder going up, or, that we're contorting our body to play the violin, because that's going to absolutely affect the tone. So a great place to start is just to find your relaxed place. Relax your shoulders, give a few shoulder rolls. Allow your hands to hang down. Like you just feel this relaxed weight of your arms hanging down with your shoulders normal, that you're feeling centered and aligned in the center. You can do this in front of the mirror and have your feet just a little bit spaced apart, just hanging out but below your hips so you feel centered and grounded. Take a few deep breaths and connect into your body here. You can even feel that alignment coming up down through the top of your head, your crown chakra, and just going right down through to the earth, through your feet. So you feel that sense of groundiness. And then from there, bring your violin to you and your bow, and that's your place to start. So even by this process, if you feel tension coming in, now I don't mean weight, like, right now I feel weight of the bow on my pinky because it's not being set up on the violin, but tension, actual tension, that is where you want to address. That's where you want to go first and find out, okay, why is this tension happening? What's going on? Is it a fear of the violin falling? Is it a fear of the bow falling? And one thing I always tell the violinists that I'm working with, when you find the place of tension and you work that place out, that tension is most likely going to show up somewhere else. Those are the first two pillars: postural foundations, making sure that you're set up ergonomically, and secondly, just staying relaxed, being tension free, and being that tension investigator. Let's go into the right hand. So this is our third pillar for Gorgeous Tone, is really here. Now we're going to go into the right hand before the left because this is actually what produces the tone out of the violin. The left hand is a huge contributing factor, but it is actually the right side that's going to bring that tone out. So once you have that beautiful violin hold, feel really set up, we're not even going to add the left hand right now. So what I'd like you to do every single day for at least 3 to 5 minutes are just long whole bows from frog to tip. You're watching for straight bows, making sure that you're not wobbling off in any direction. And I have a video on how to play with straight bows. You can discover that in the corner above. And as you pull these straight bows, just to really check in with the energy of your body, that you are truly staying relaxed and aware of how these muscle groups work together. If there's any tension in the back of your shoulder, in your bicep, in your forearm, in your wrist, in your fingers, it's going to affect the tone. So this needs to be like a free channel of energy that's going into the violin. So just as you're preparing for this exercise, set up and relax. Just set your bow on the string and feel relaxed. The placement of the elbow is just where it naturally falls. We don't want it to feel like you're holding it down. That's not natural. You just want it to fall naturally where it falls between the wrist and the shoulder. And then from there, since we're at the frog, we are going to have a little bit tilted hair. We don't want to be flat hair. You see how that changes my wrist even, okay? So we're tilted hair. We feel like the hand is hanging from the wrist, just a little bit, a suspension feeling, okay? These guys are super relaxed. The fingers are super relaxed. So this is your starting point. Just even start from here. Relaxed shoulder, relaxed elbow, relaxed hand, relaxed fingers. And then from here, pulling some nice, beautiful whole bows on open strings. Nice, beautiful, straight whole bows with a gorgeous tone. So here at the frog, of course, the bow is a little bit heavier. So we have to either alleviate the weight or we have to have more speed. So if I wanted to play with my relaxed weight of my arm from here, it's going to be crunchy. And this is a great place for you to even start. Feel that relaxed weight, have a little bit of that crunch so you can feel relaxed and know that that is kind of like the breaking point, right? We don't want to sound crunchy. And alleviate the weight or combine weight with speed so you can hear the difference. That's what you want to explore every single day. Nice long whole bows frog to tip on open strings. That's going to improve your tone immediately. Just that simple exercise, and staying relaxed, feeling that energy coming down into your bow hold and into your index finger, transferring through the violin and coming out the F-holes as sound. So there's so much more to that, obviously, but that is a great place to start. Then the fourth pillar to Gorgeous Tone is your left hand. Our left hand manipulates the pitches that we play. It adds vibrato. It allows the violin to sing through that vibrato, and the left hand shifts through positions. So if you have tension in your left hand, it's not going to vibrate and you're not going to be able to shift easily. If your left hand is not set up properly, it's not going to vibrate and it's not going to shift easily. So this brings us all the way back to the beginning of this video, postural foundations and being relaxed. So I have plenty of videos you can watch out on how to set up the left hand, how to have a balanced left hand, also a balanced right hand. You can check those videos out. And with the left hand, how to not have the tension. So I'm going to just give you a little bit here of how to investigate your left hand to help you with tone. Now, the biggest mistake I see violinists make, specifically adult violinists that are coming to the violin for the first time, is feeling like these fingers are weak. This is a completely new setup for anybody. Cellists, it's quite a bit more ergonomic for the left side of the body and the right. The violin, we have to really feel that we're kind of contorting in some way, a little bit, with this arm to be able to play. Now, for violinists that start at a young age, they're rubber. 6-year-olds, they can just pick it up and just have no problem. But for somebody that has not ever done this motion, this is a very, very strange motion. In 2010, I broke my wrist, my left wrist, and I was casted. Actually, they didn't find the break for at least 3 months, and I played Paganini caprices, concerts on that broken wrist. Once they found the break, they thought it was just a sprain of some sort, but once they found the break, I was casted for at least 8 weeks, maybe more, 10 weeks. And I was casted like this, so I couldn't twist, I couldn't move. So once they took that cast off, I had to relearn how to twist my arm in such a way to play the violin, and that was more painful than the break itself. So I have a little bit of information on how it feels for an adult player to get into this position, because it is quite unnatural. So what we need is this hand to be a silent stand for the fingers to work. We're setting up the hand, the arm, in such a way for the fingers to work on the violin. So one exercise, just to kind of get you there, is to start out with the hand, left hand straight out, flip it upside down, bring your elbow into your belly button, okay? That's a great way to just warm up your muscles and feel how that feels. Elbow to the belly button. So the elbow is not hanging out here when we hold the violin. It's really not even straight under the violin. We are angled to set up the hand in such a way that the fingers have freedom and flexibility to play. The hand needs to stay stable at all times. No matter what finger we're playing, that hand needs to stay stable. If we're playing our fourth finger or our first finger, no matter, that hand is silent. It's just the fingers moving. The thumb itself is just holding the violin up nice and gently in such a way that the violin is actually just balanced on the thumb. I take my thumb away, violin is still there because I have this going on. It's not that my shoulder and jaw is clenching the violin. This brings us back to that bow hold. It's just a puzzle piece. This is just resting on like a limb on the tree, and the fingers have the flexibility to move. So when I said that adult violinists have this weakness in the fingers, what happens, or a returning violinist, what happens is other muscles want to help those fingers come down, and that is not the way to go. We need these muscles all to be silent, and the fingers are moving with the strength on their own. Because if we use other muscles to move those fingers, see how sluggish and slow they are? As opposed to just letting the fingers move on their own. How does this affect tone? Again, it brings us to tension. If there's any tension there or any muscles that are being activated in a tense way, the tone is not going to be beautiful. The violin's not going to be able to sing naturally. So for the left hand, we need that nice relaxed hold so that we can vibrate. Brings us to a beautiful setup, relax, and then we're able to vibrate and give it that tone, that professional tone that you're looking for. So I have a video on prep exercises for vibrato that you can check out if you are at that stage. But don't skip ahead to the vibrato before you're ready. Investigate the left hand. Make sure that it's set up and that it's relaxed. Because if you skip to the vibrato ahead of time, it's just going to be really harder in the long run. Same with shifting. Having that left hand being nice and relaxed and set up so that you're able to shift. So a great shifting exercise you can do is what I call the tornado siren, and just holding one finger down just shifting up and down, not worrying about pitches even, just even having this feeling. So I have another video you can watch on shifting exercises as well to get you going. But as you see here, the 4 pillars to gorgeous tone: postural foundations, playing relaxed, and investigating your left hand to have it set up in such a way that you can have that vibrato, that beautiful vibrato, and the beautiful shifting without squeezing the violin. And then 4th, and these are interchangeable, 3 and 4, bow and left hand, is to practice those open strings at least 3 to 5 minutes a day. Even Aaron Rozan's practiced open string exercises 5 minutes a day before getting into his repertoire. Be sure to download my 4 Pillars to Gorgeous Tone, completely free, instantly downloadable, to follow along and to print up, put on your stand to constantly remind you of these 4 pillars to gorgeous tone. I'll see you there. Ciao.